My old Wolfe Ridge 28C log splitter has officially left the woodyard. So the old Wolfe Ridge log splitter is down on the farm for my dad to use. I'm going to get into that in a little bit here and tell you a little bit about it and everything. But just as one thing leaves the woodyard, a new thing comes into the woodyard. And I got a little story to tell you about this as well. It's something that someone has been waiting to get a new one of for a long time. So the old Wolfe Ridge log splitter is now down on the farm, and Woodhound Sr. is looking forward to actually having me come back down to give him a little overview and kind of run the first run with it with him and my mom. This weekend when I went down there, it was just way too hot, and he does not make firewood until it cools off in the fall, so we have plenty of time. But I wanted to get it down there because I had the opportunity to borrow my brother-in-law's trailer to haul it down there, and it kind of just worked out good with timing and everything. It did, however, distract me and from a day of working on finishing up the greenhouse. So if you're wondering, the greenhouse, not yet complete. But yeah, it's just great to be able to take something like that splitter, my dad's old splitter that he's used for many years, actually something went wrong with the hydraulic pump in it, and it's no longer working. It's out of commission. So this splitter is going to fill in now this fall when him and my mom start splitting up some firewood, and it's going to serve them very well. It's going to help with the log lift and just with the four-way wedge. They don't split a lot of wood, but they go out in the fall and in the winter, and it keeps them busy, keeps them active. So it was great to be able to take that down there. He did put it away kind of behind the barn. He put a tarp over it to keep the chickens off, but he is looking forward to running it. It's just this weekend, it was not a weekend for making any firewood. On to the new addition to the woodyard. So the little boss man, he had a little four-wheeler, I don't know, for 3-4 years now. Last year, something went wrong with it. We tried to fix it this year, or we got it running again. We put a new carb in it. This year, the ignition, the wiring, something went on. I'm not sure. Couldn't get it fixed. And he was kind of outgrowing it anyway, so I knew it was time to start looking for like the next size up to get him a little four-wheeler to tool around the woodyard here. He's got some trails up in the woods. So as luck would have it, when I was up at the Wisconsin State Fair, the Northern Wisconsin State Fair, a couple weeks ago, across the street from the Wolfe Ridge tent was a business called Next Gen Power Sports. And they were there at the State Fair. You know, they had a couple UTVs, they had a couple little four-wheelers, a jet ski, and then in the back of the one UTV, they had that little four-wheeler. And I was just like, oh, I'm looking for something like that. But I went and talked to the guy, but I wasn't like really sure, you know. So anyway, round and round, round, whatever, however the story is going here. But I was never aware of that company, that business in the area here. They actually have 3 locations around Wisconsin, but I was never aware of them, that they were even someone to look for. When I kind of do, you know, like kids ATV searches on Google, I was always just taken back to that place where I originally bought the first one. So it was kind of nice because it kind of brings together that whole, you never know, you know, kind of like businesses that go to things like state fairs or go to like trade shows or go to farmers markets, wherever you can get exposure, wherever you can get that awareness of people knowing about you and knowing what you have to offer. You just never know where those leads are going to come from. And it's kind of like the same thing with Firewood. I mean, you could, you know, always take that opportunity, whether you think it's not at all related to Firewood, take the opportunity to, you know, look into getting more exposure. The more exposure you can get, the better you are. And it's the case right here with this Next Gen Power Sports. Never heard of them, never knew of them, but today we went and bought a little four-wheeler from them. So Little Boss Man has been saving up his earnings from this summer, and this was one of the things he was looking forward to buying to replace his old one. He didn't quite have enough saved up to cover everything, so I had to kind of give him an advance. But this little thing, the nice thing about it, oh yes, it comes with a hitch. So the nice thing is that now, instead of using the little green machine, the old lawnmower, to move wood around up to the roadside stand, the Little Boss Man can hook up the Ultratech trailer and take wood up and reload the stand. And so yesterday we took the Wolfe Ridge down to the farm, spent the day down there, just hanging out, relaxing, went and saw Slick Willie, stopped in to see him and say hi, and then also stopped in to see my sister, who had just gotten a new horse. And now today I had to help out Little Boss Man fulfill one of his summer wishes. One of his things that he was looking forward to doing this summer was getting a new four-wheeler, replacing that old one. So today, after work, we left and went and picked that thing up, and he is just thrilled. He's been riding around all evening here. But it's kind of nice because he did say how he wanted to make sure he had a hitch so that he could hook up that Ultratech trailer. And he said then that way he'd be able to take wood up to the roadside stand, move bundles around back here. So he did have in the back of his mind a little bit of the mindset of putting it to use here in the Woodyard. So like I said in the beginning, an old machine went out and a new machine came into the Woodyard. So it was a pretty fun weekend, even though I didn't get to the Shelter Logic greenhouse. Not yet. But I think taking a little pause from that work to take the log splitter down to my dad and down to the farm and to get Little Boss Man his new wheels, I think it was worth it to take a couple days and just wait and get back at that greenhouse in a box later on when it's not so hot. So thanks for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.
I've been a real bad boy on the town all night.